Manifestation Pod. We are Louise and Sam, two ordinary mums living extraordinary lives through friendship, self-improvement, manifestation, the law of attraction, and a little bit of the magic. We look forward to you joining us on our fortnightly podcast.
Welcome to episode 5 of the Manifestation Pod. We are here and in person this week. Woohoo! And we have wine.
We do have wine. It's very exciting. I'm not sure how I feel about drinking while recording a podcast.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we could literally say anything, so watch this space.
Is that why we're calling it Vibing High? Because we're sat here drinking wine?
Absolutely. I've been vibing high all weekend. It's Easter bank holiday weekend. It's Sunday evening. We're having a bit of an impromptu sleepover. Our kids are upstairs making lots of noise, which you can't hear. And we're downstairs drinking wine in our pajamas, recording a pod and doing our goals list, which is like really filling me with joy.
That is a very nice way to spend an Easter weekend, isn't it?
It is. It's been lovely. The sun's been out. It's been gorgeous weather. I've seen you twice this week. I only saw you on
Thursday.
Thursday. So that's nice. And yeah, it's been a really good weekend. So what have you been manifesting?
Well, my manifesting is not going fabulously at the moment, I have to say.
Oh.
And I think part of it is that my vibe hasn't been very high, and I'm working on bringing it back to high levels. I haven't reviewed my goals properly since January when we were starting getting ready for this tonight. I'm like, I've not looked at these since January, which is not great when you're manifesting stuff. I look at my top 10 really regularly because I've got that as a vision board on my phone, so I focus on them quite a bit, but like the overall goals I've not really been checking in on. So yeah, I think my manifesting at the moment not going fabulous, not really poor. Like the things that are going well are I'm working on my yoga nidra training. That's going really well. I'm loving that.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And in work, my financial goals at work are going really well. And I've had a good win with that this week. So
that's really good. That's quite up there on goals, finances.
Yeah, absolutely. But on the flip side, one of my goals is to get a puppy for the family. And we went to a dog rescue this week, and that did not go very well.
Oh no.
Yeah, the dog we went to see got so excited that she she jumped up, punched me in the face and scratched my nose and made me bleed. And jumped up at one of the kids as well. She was so excited, bless her. So,
not the dog for you then? Not
the dog for us, no. And our first foray into dog rescues and things like that. So it's been a bit off-putting, really.
Yeah.
But in the lead up to it, there was loads of resistance this week in going to see that dog that I just ignored because it was on my goals list and I really wanted to make a start and go and see. So maybe I should have listened to that resistance.
Yeah,
maybe it wasn't the time, it's definitely not the right dog. So we'll keep looking for a rescue dog, I think.
I suppose as well, if you had listened to the resistance, you might have been a little bit resentful that you wanted to see the dog and no other people might not have wanted to see the dog. So I suppose at least you tried it. The dog wasn't for you. So you've kind of, you've not come to that conclusion, but it's kind of literally hit you in the face and said, I'm not for you. So yeah, at least you tried it, whereas you might have just been thinking, what if that was our perfect dog and we missed that opportunity? Sometimes I think, even though I talk a lot about do not do things that serve you well, if something's not working, get out. I've always said that. Relationships, jobs, situations, friends, I'll cut you dead if you're not working for me. However, I do think sometimes you do need to really try things to get to that point that you know it's not for you. Because otherwise, and I'm speaking from experience, sometimes I've cut people out because I thought, oh, you're toxic, or you're this, or you're that. And then I've kind of pined a little bit afterwards, whereas if I just spent a little bit more time, maybe thinking, actually, you're a good friend, or you're a good boyfriend, or whatever, and giving it that a little bit more time, it still might not have worked out, but at least I can say I really tried, rather than thinking about afterwards, what if?
Yeah, I suppose there's there's a lot to be said for like just taking action rather than not, isn't there? And what it did teach me was like, I definitely don't want a big dog, definitely don't want a boisterous dog like that. And so we learned a lot as like a family from being there, and it was a lovely dog rescue. So we'll definitely go back there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just funny how when your vibe is not very high and you're getting a lot of resistance on stuff, like a lot more stuff goes wrong, and
it's
just ridiculous. I think I mentioned to you briefly that like I've had a few really low vibe days, and on one of them, on like the same day, just loads of things were going wrong. Like I went to get petrol, and the petrol pump fell apart in my hand. Petrol went everywhere, all over the car. And then I looked to the side of me, and there was a dead pigeon in the petrol station, like a squashed pigeon. And I just had to laugh, because it's just like, when your mood is low, when your vibe is low, you just attract crap things happening to you.
Well, that is the law of attraction. It works both ways. Like when your vibe's high, which mine is at the moment, I'm attracting really good things all of the time. And it becomes a circle then, and you almost start thinking, God, this is so easy. Like my life's just, it's easy. But actually, it isn't, because when you get in that low vibe, it just attracts bad.
Yeah.
And the more you think about that was a bit crap, you get more crap. And it's the self-fulfilling prophecy. And it's horrible when you're in that, but you need to get your way out of it. Yeah. And I think for you, like you said about your goals, read your goals. Look at what you're wanting to achieve for the year. Look at what you have achieved and write that down. So my goals, which I actually have here, I'm moving house on the 28th of April. Fingers crossed. And I feel in a bit of a slump at the moment that I'm not really achieving goals. I feel a little bit stuck like glue because I'm moving house. There's no point in really starting anything. So I felt a little bit like that. But then, because I've got this really good goals list where I'm writing down all the time, like what my goals are, what are the next 3 things to move that goal forward. And then at the end of each month, I'm writing what I've achieved the month before. So I felt like a little bit of a funk at the beginning of April. And I just had a little look through, and I'm looking at like all the ticks on my list, but also like my achievements. So for example, January, I got 2 new clients, I booked a holiday, I sold my house and bought a new one, and we started the podcast. Like that's 1 month, and that's in the middle of moving house and getting ready to move. So that's loads of good things. And this weekend, it's been a bit of an odd one, because I've been home alone all week. Well, not all completely alone, Charlotte's been there. But I didn't have any plans this weekend, because my main goal for the weekend was packing up the house. Because we went to see the new house on Friday, and oh my Lord, it filled me with joy. It was a sunny day. It's the first time I've viewed the house in sunshine. And considering my number 1 requirement is a light and airy house, you think I might have done this before now, but oh no, I've left it to the last minute. But we went. I could have cried. I walked in. It was like, when you watch a film and like, I don't know, there's some religious experience and it all lights up. It was almost like that, because I walked in. The lounge was filled with sunshine. The kitchen was filled with sunshine. The patio doors were open. The garden was just gorgeous. Went upstairs. The view from my bedroom is breathtaking, but I've not seen it in daylight. Sorry, I have seen it in daylight, but not in sunlight in a really bright day. That was amazing. So that lifted me to a place that, oh my God, I was just like, I cannot believe this is going to be my house. I'm so happy. I'm so bloody grateful for it. It's going to change our life. Not in a, oh my God, I've got this massive house that's going to change our life in terms of, you know, how perceptions to the outside world. It's just going to change our life, that there's more room, we can have people round, there's more entertainment room, you can come round, our kids can play together, and we can sit outside in the sunshine, and oh my God, it's going to be amazing. Anyway, so I'm vibing high because of that. And then this weekend, I've just had a lovely weekend. I've packed loads of boxes. Decluttering fills me with joy. I've chucked loads of stuff out. We've been to the tip, we've been to the charity shops, we've been to people's houses and returned things that Charlotte's had upstairs for months that don't even belong to her. We've just done loads of things like that, and that's kept me vibing high all weekend. I've got a new client for my business, which is amazing. Which I'm really excited about. I'm really excited about working with her, because I feel like I can definitely make a difference and do life-changing things. So that's really exciting. I've bought a cherry blossom tree.
Oh, love that.
I know.
Love that.
I know. I'm so excited about that. I've always wanted a cherry blossom tree. I love them, but I want one that I can see. And the one thing that I'm going to really miss about my house, my present house, is my office has got the most gorgeous tree outside it. And it changes colour all year round. It's peach, it's burgundy, it's golden, it's yellow, it's just, I've got so many pictures of it. It's lovely. I've not got a tree outside my new house. Well, I have outside the front window, but at the back there isn't one. And I just want a cherry blossom tree of my own.
I can't wait to see the cherry blossom tree.
And it produces cherries as well that you can eat. Yeah. So there's different types of cherry blossom tree. I mean, I don't even know. This is what I've manifested. I kill all plants, and this house has got a garden that's beautiful. It's got a pond, it's got koi carp, it's got plants, it's got flowers, it's got shrubs, it's got things. I'm going to have to do things. I know nothing about plants. Every plant I've ever had has died. So I've manifested a high vibe friend who's I can't even say the word, horticulturalist. It's literally his business, and he's giving me all this advice, and he's keeping the cherry blossom tree for me until I'm ready to move. He's going to love it and nurture it and look after it, and he's going to come and deliver it and plant it for me.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's good. Didn't you set a goal to have some new high vibe friends near home, and then you got like 2?
I did. Yeah, I forgot about that. So one is he listens to the pod, Ian, who I've known for years. We used to be housemates back in the day, like, I don't know, 12 years ago, before I had a child. And what's really weird about that is he's just got into manifestation, law of attraction. He's doing a coaching course. He's just done a do your own side hustle course. He's vibing like I've never known anyone. You can tell it's new to him because he's so excited about it. It's great to be around him at the moment. But what's really funny about that, I put on my goals list, I think for February, get 2 new high vibe friends who live near me. Because I've got probably 5 high vibe friends. None of them live near me. You're one of them. So I wanted someone local I could just go, let's go for a walk, let's talk about this, let's talk about that anyway. So Ian, who I've known for years, and he's always been, you know, very positive and high vibe, but not in the same way that I was looking for. And suddenly he's become that person. But even more like odd and quirky is that he put on his goals list that he wanted to like scale up his friends and look for more. He wanted to level up, basically, to use a government expression, and find friends that were more high vibe. So he chose me, and he got in contact with me and was like, let's go for a drink. And I was like, oh, okay, random, but whatever. We said we'd go for a drink to say goodbye to my house because we both used to live there. And then on this like night out, oh my God, I had the best night. All we did was talk about goals. We were so drunk. And we had a proper catch up, and we were keeping up with like what we've been up to. And I see him periodically, but we've not had a chat like that in ages. It was amazing. But then we got drunker and drunker. But he told me that when he was thinking about leveling up, he immediately thought of me because he was like, you've always had good jobs, you've always had like things in the pipeline, you've always had like other things going on. And I thought of you, and I was like, I thought of you as a high five friend. And yeah, he just messaged me saying, oh, should we go for that drink? We said we'd go for a drink, but we've been saying it for ages. It's never happened. And then he just messaged me out of the blue. We went for a drink, and since then, I feel like I've got a new, not replacing you, I feel like I've got a new like best friend on the doorstep. And I messaged him at 8:10 this morning, because I woke up at 7 o'clock this morning, like going, oh my God, I've had an idea for a post for my business. I've started writing a book. I've wrote 13 pages. I've just had the maddest weekend ever. I've just done loads. This weekend was supposed to be about like moving house, packing. All I've done is business stuff all weekend. And then I messaged him this morning saying, like, I've had an idea. I keep saying, like, I've had an idea, but I need, is quite techie, and I need some technical advice. I need to run it by you. Do you fancy a walk? And he was like, yeah, what time? So I was like, either now, it was 8 o'clock in the morning, or lunchtime. He was like, yeah, lunchtime. So we went for a walk, and he gave me some really good ideas about like social media. And then I went back home and I found this social media course I did a year ago, and I got all stuff out for that. And I'm just like, everything's coming together.
That's so good. It's so true that I was thinking about that phrase. I know I'm always coming up with phrases when I'm talking about but you know that your vibe attracts your tribe. Like, I've heard that a million times, but that could not be truer in like what's happened to you the last few weeks, because you've like put out this vibe of wanting to find more people into the law of attraction that live near you. And then that just happens.
Exactly. It's so bizarre. And this guy, Rob, who I've known him for a while, we're kind of friends. I buy my Christmas trees from him, but he's been helping me with like the garden and planning things. But he's high vibe. He owns his own business. He owns like a farm and a like garden centre and a cafe and lots of things. He's obviously high vibe. But when I was looking for him, what's interesting as well about manifesting, and I was talking to Ian about this today, you really need to be careful what you wish for, because very often I will have a thought and I will just have the thought in isolation. Like, for example, a few weeks ago, I was due to see a friend. She lives miles away. And I just fleetingly thought, I cannot be bothered driving there tonight. It's like 30 miles away. In my head, I was thinking, I can't be bothered driving there tonight, but I'd still want to see her, and I do want to have a drink. I only really drink with friends these days, and me and her always drink quite a lot, and I was kind of looking forward to that. But my initial thought was, I can't be bothered driving all that way. Within 10 minutes of that thought, she rang and cancelled. And I was like, that isn't what I wanted. I wanted to do something maybe closer to home. I didn't want you to cancel. I didn't say anything, obviously. I was like, yeah, that's fine. But Ian was saying today, he's the same. He manifested something. He had a thought, wrote it down, and it manifested in that thought. But the stuff around it, it didn't go in quite the way he wanted. And I'm finding that a lot. I have a thought, and that thought comes true. But then, like, I didn't want it to happen like that. I wanted it to happen like this. I think you need to be really careful what you wish for.
Because you don't get to control how it happens.
No.
You don't. You've got to be open to whatever is like the highest good thing to happen, basically. And you've got to roll with the flow of it as well. So, if you don't want to go somewhere and do something and then that happens, you've just got to trust that whatever happened is the right thing.
I can't remember what I did that night in the end. And I can't remember any nights where I've been bored, so I'm sure it all worked out. But it was just a bit like, I don't know, you do years be if you, what I should have said in my head was, I really don't want to drive all the way to Congleton tonight. What I want to do is see my friend, but maybe go for tea somewhere between us, and maybe not drink and just meet. Because what I really wanted to do was see her. I just couldn't really be bothered driving there to do that. So I think you just need to be specific.
And then with the dog situation afterwards, rather than being like, really upset that it didn't happen, that happened, and that we didn't find a dog, and it didn't go according to plan, I've just been like racking my brains of like, what is this trying to teach me? What's the lesson here? And, you know, just trying to understand and figure out, like, you know, why it happens, what it's leading to, and rather than, you know, in the past, before manifestation and doing all of this work, I would have just been like really peed off, I think, that it didn't go according to plan. We didn't find a dog. We got hurt by a dog.
Literally.
Literally. But instead it was just like, right, well, that's not the right dog for us. That's fine. Why it decided to do that, I don't know. And what that's trying to teach me is, you know, probably a few things.
You see, I can almost answer that. I think as an outside person listening to that, I would say the bite in you was because you had this, like, almost not a battle going on, but there was resistance to the dog. You wanted the dog. Was that then more about a battle about who's going to win that fight rather than the dog itself? The dog had to do something dramatic for you not to get it. It literally had to whack you in the face for you to go, this is not the right dog for us. Because anything less than that, you might have been like, well, it's cute. Well, I know it's a bit big. Maybe the lesson there is just don't rush into this. Having a dog's a massive decision. It's got to be the right dog.
Yeah, it absolutely has, hasn't it? It really
And
has.
that's it. It's got to be the right dog. And you need to all be on board with it when you get it. And maybe that's it. That's all it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. I do. We've got some shared goals for this year as well, which we want to talk about to keep ourselves a little bit accountable and to look back on. And one of the main ones is that we really want to do a retreat together at some point this year, like lead a retreat for other people, which is a kind of a big lead on from why we started the podcast, of like finding more people that are like us into the stuff that we're into and sharing some of the good things that we're doing to give people like a nice afternoon or a nice weekend away or something like that.
Yeah, and do some things like yoga, maybe a nice walk somewhere pretty, somewhere in the countryside. I have to say though, I always say aim high and aim for the sky, but we've come down from the retreat. We've come down to the retreat because your original idea, if I remember correctly, was to start a religion. That was your goal last year. You said, I will start a religion of people like us who, and we came to this because we feel that collectively, me and Sam feel that it's a bit of a crap world out there at the moment. You do need something to believe in. I think if you can believe in yourself and your goals, and you can live the life that you want and you deserve, and we do, and we're proof of that, then that kind of is like a religion, that it's something you can believe in and aspire to and work towards yourself. And that's really important. Yeah. But because we're not quite ready for starting our own religion yet, we're going to start with a retreat.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was inspired by going to a Hindu temple on a school trip with my daughter.
Oh God, it was. I forgot about that.
And I had a bit of a like spiritual moment in there, and just a real pang of looking around at the people that were coming to worship and just thinking, they've got a place to go every single day with people that are on the same spiritual path of them, in a beautiful building, beautiful surroundings, where they all care about each other and look after each other and are on, the same spiritual path or the same wavelength about something. And just had a real like pang of jealousy of wanting something like that. Imagining if you had a building right by your house where you could go and see you and people like you.
Yeah.
Once a day, even once a week.
Yeah, no, that would be amazing.
How amazing that would be. You just don't get anything like that, do you? That feeling that you and I get from spending time together and being focused on the same kind of things in our own way. To have that in a communal way, would be amazing.
Because it is definitely something that needs to be shared. You do it. I do it at home on my own all the time, and it's so like, oh my God, it's such a buzz when you're talking to someone. You're like, and they're, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and you need a tribe. absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's it, isn't it?
We could get Ian in our tribe. He's
I know.
definitely,
he's
I
definitely
really
in
need
there.
to meet Ian. Yeah,
Really
you've met him
do.
before.
I haven't.
You have, of course you have. You must have done.
No.
My
No.
birthday party.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
No, it's.
He was probably there.
He was there. Do you know? I think I've asked him about you as well. He said the same thing, and I just cannot believe you've not met. You're very, very similar.
No, we've probably been in like rooms together.
You probably have.
Not had a chance to meet.
Yeah, new house.
Yeah, there you
Social
go.
space. We'll make that happen.
Yeah, let's do like a goal setting afternoon
Oh
or
my
something
God.
together.
Dream of that.
Yeah. Oh, get him on the podcast.
Do you know what? Actually, I thought about that today.
Yeah.
I did think we should get him on the podcast because he's so like new to this and so, oh my God, his vibe. He's just walking around smiling the whole time. He is. He's like, I can tell you his goal. His goal is that he's going to make £100,000 next year, and I have no doubt that he's going to do it because he's so focused and determined, and like he's literally like, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I do it?
Yeah, like zero doubt.
Absolutely no doubt whatsoever.
Yeah.
He knows he's going to do it. He's fixated on it. He's got such good ideas.
Mm.
So yeah, we should definitely get him on as a guest.
Yeah.
He'd be well up for that. And he said today, so we were talking about, this is going completely off topic, but he was saying about what he wants to do. So his name, I thought I should say this on the podcast, we'll just listen, but I'm sure he won't mind, is Ian Hulston.
Right.
So his Instagram page is backwards, so it's Hulston Ian, which is Hulstonian.
Oh yeah, it is.
So he wants to. So he's doing coaching. He wants to be a life coach, and he's like training for that. And he wants a tribe called the Hulstonians. Wow. And I was like, that's amazing.
That is amazing. Yeah.
And he was saying like he needs to change his, because that's his personal page at the moment. He was like, well, I can't use that as my personal page. Like, yes, you can. Just change it to your business page. It's too good an opportunity.
Yeah.
It makes me want to be called Ian, so I can be called something Ian.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not. I'm called Louise. But yeah, we should definitely get. We should definitely get him on. That'd be really good. And also, for any of you out there, if there is anyone out there listening to this, because we often wonder, if you don't believe in like manifestation, because I do always think, because me and you are really into it and we believe it and follow it, there are people out there that are just like, what a crock of shit. Yeah. And I get that. So I think if you are out there and you don't believe in it, just set yourself a little challenge of manifest something that is maybe a little bit out there, something that you may not, it can be something really simple. Think of something simple. So what can people out there manifest?
Just even as simple as like red car. I want to see a red car.
Right, okay. So yeah, you want to see a red car, and then just say it out loud. Think about it, and then just see how many of those cars you see in 1 week. And it's just kind of proof right there that what you think like magnetizes what comes in front of you. So if you're thinking really good things, you attract good things. And if you're thinking bad things, you will attract bad things. I believe in this like religion. Like if you see the world as a bad world, that is that's what you'll get. You'll get this bad world. If you see the world as a really exciting place where you can achieve anything you want, that's absolutely what you'll find. So yeah, try that with a red car. Interestingly, Ian, again, he told me 2 weeks ago that I've got an electric Mini, and he said that he has always wanted a Mini, but he wants an electric one, but he wants a red one. And I said to him, well, they don't do red electric Minis. And he said, I know, I've looked for one, and they don't. I think mine's about 2 years old, and when I looked, there was like very few colours for an electric Mini. So he was like, I really want a red one. So he messaged me the other day and said that he saw a red electric Mini. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So clearly they have started doing them. But then today he's told me he's seen 2.
Yeah.
So he's seen 3. I've never seen one. Red electric Minis. He's seen 3 in the space of 2 weeks.
He's a super manifestor.
He absolutely is. Yeah, he really is. We will definitely get him on the pod.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's us. High vibing or low vibing sometimes. Goals, manifestation, religion. Share your goals with us. Don't be frightened by the religion stuff.
Yeah,
This is not a cult.
I'd like it to be a cult.
And we will come back to the episode that we promised on food and mindset. We have got that in train, haven't we, that episode? So we will do that next. We just thought it was too good an opportunity together tonight.
Yeah,
to not talk about goals and things.
Absolutely. So the next episode is about food. I'm going to talk specifically about, I've done a Blue Zone Challenge, which is about very healthy eating. And as a byproduct of that, I've lost 11 pounds. Amazing. So I know I'll be talking about that next week. And Sam, what are you going to talk about?
The glucose goddess and herbal medicine and nutrition mindset is what I'm going to talk about. So yeah, join us for that. Like, subscribe and follow, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. You've been listening to the Manifestation Pod with me, Sam Fillingham, and Louise Marshall. Please follow, subscribe, and rate our pod. Share with friends to support two ordinary mums living extraordinary lives.